I'm going to show you 3 things about the second Outer Worlds game that might irritate you enough to decide against buying it. You be the judge, of course, but I think you should see this video before you make a commitment. We're on a side quest here to get some double jump boots and rescue a couple of people if we can. First, we've got to fix the lift. That requires 3 skill points in engineering. The quest description made no mention of that, so if you show up underskilled, you'll have to come back later. This kind of thing happens a lot, so you might want to accumulate skill points until you find a specific use for them, and then decide if this or that quest is worth the allocation. Or the devs could simply add the major dependencies to the quest description in your journal. Wouldn't that be nice? So the guy on the ground had these double jump boots, tested them impetuously from the platform above, and paid the price. Also, someone got jammed in the platform's gear train, and the 2 victims there can't lower it now, so they're trapped. You can help them if you want, or just grab the boots to use elsewhere, which is what I was planning to do. If you decide to help them, then you'll have to find a mechanical component, which the boots make it possible to do. As you can see, there is a route up to the platform's height, and you can eventually find the component and install it for them. That's the route there. Up to a tower, then across toward the platform, then to another tower on the far side, and back. This is a different play session. As you can see, it's a fair bit of fun, or bother, depending on your outlook. For me, it's bother because I wanted the boots for another quest I'm doing, and I really don't feel like getting involved in another one. Okay, so there's the gizmo. I'll go back to the platform and install it so they can lower the thing and not starve to death. This one looks like a challenge. What did Guy Clark say? Spread your arms and hold your breath and always trust your cape.
That's it? It was that easy?
You kind of want to shoot both of them, really. All right then, I just need to install it and I'll be good to go. Well, what do you know? I need 4 engineering points for this. I find this lazy and inexcusable. You might have thought that the 3 points needed to fix the lift and start the quest would be a prediction of what's needed later in the same little quest, but it isn't. This has Microsoft written all over it. So until the devs get the message that dependencies should be listed in the journal's quest descriptions, you'll need to make a habit of keeping a few extra skill points on hand, which isn't a huge burden, of course, but it shouldn't be necessary. Not making that information available is just lazy and disrespectful. There's one minor issue I'm just going to mention. There is so much loot on the ground and the floors of indoor spaces that one develops the habit of looking down and sweeping the camera back and forth most of the time, rather than looking ahead or even up slightly, which is rewarded with nice visual content. I was a huge fan of the original Outer Worlds from 2019, which I played through several times and always enjoyed. It was quirky and imperfect, but it also had real charm. A lot of YouTube reviews that I watched said the second game is an improvement, by which I assume they mean in terms of visuals or audio or roleplay mechanics, or how much money was thrown at it. But what made the first game so charming was the characters. They were unforgettable. My favorites were the companions Nyoka, Parvati, and Vicar Max. The scripts were exceptional, and the actors leaned into their roles hard. Even minor characters were memorable. Phineas, Sanjar, and about 10 others. It was obvious that the writers and cast meant to make that game special. And they did. Here's why I needed the boots. I gotta see some people on the other side of this canyon. So far, my companions are Valerie, a zombie Codsworth, which is meant to look cute with its anime eyes, only with an impersonal, whining, nasal monotone, like a female Bill Gates. Inez is dull, having little personality and a limited script, and Niles is maybe as good as one of the less interesting companions from Game 1, like Ellie. And I hate saying this about the Game 2 cast, because it could be just a lack of decent writing and a lack of sufficient rehearsal time. I wasn't there, but it's entirely possible it's not the cast's fault. I waited impatiently for the second game, which finally dropped on October 29th. I downloaded it that day, and I have yet to finish the first map. It's been a week, and I'm currently at level 5. Not loving it. The third serious issue is one that the first game had and which simply hasn't been fixed. Combat is a total chore because so-called difficulty is really just enemy health. I call it fake difficulty. As you level up, your enemies do as well and become bullet sponges. As do you. There's no excuse for a rifle headshot to result in anything other than instant death for your enemies and your avatar. Ever. If you want increasing difficulty, make the enemies more mobile, more numerous, with less predictability, more variation in the order of battle, the way the Crisis series did it. Merely firing gargantuan quantities of ammo into a bullet sponge enemy is not combat. It's demolition. And it sucks, even with the most amusing novelty weapons. It's boring, it's tedious, it's literally a chore. There's no excuse for this. Combat should, by far, be the most fun part of the game. I'm looking at you too, Fallout series. My disappointment in this game is verging on contempt, but that's only because I was so delighted with the first one. They say you can't hate what you never loved. So think about my critique here and ask yourself if you're likely to be disappointed as well. I think Microsoft's strenuous mediocrity has made a pig's breakfast of something that was, yes, imperfect, but also wonderful. But then that's been their business model for the PC, the web, productivity apps, and cloud services since day one, hasn't it? I'll say this in closing. Although I'm not enjoying the game itself, I'm getting considerable pleasure from criticizing it, so I'll certainly continue this series if viewers show interest. And who knows, the best might be yet to come. I could even end up liking it. So keep in touch. Cheers.